30 to 40 kids drown in our state annually. Unfortunately, many of these have occurred right here in Orange County. That is why we are working so diligently to bring awareness to these very preventable tragedies.
Our state loses more children under the age of 5 to drowning than any other state in the nation. And I know, you know, we know that we can do better. Water safety is everyone's responsibility. At the Department of Health, we are working with you to promote 3 layers of protection to prevent drowning: supervision, barriers, and preparedness. To think about it another way, be watchful, be protective, and be prepared. Well, supervision, be watchful, it's the most crucial layer of protection. Drowning is a swift, silent catastrophe, one that can happen in a few minutes. Someone should always be actively watching when a child is near or in the water. Barriers physically block a child from access to a pool or water. This is how we can be protective of our children. So we need to make sure that our pools and water access points are blocked by gates and fences. And a child shouldn't be able to enter a water area unaccompanied by an adult. And finally, preparedness. To be prepared means that if the need arises, you can perform emergency cardiopulmonary resuscitation, or CPR. So adults and teens need to be trained in CPR. There's only a small window of time when that resuscitation from drowning may be successful.
I am a firm believer in the layers of protection as well, but I've been asked today to focus on the importance of teaching a child to learn to swim. Because when all of those barriers break down, it is very important that if your child finds themselves alone in the water, he or she must be able to swim. And all children aged 9 months and older should be able to float and/or to swim and float independently. And they should be able to demonstrate that they are proficient in these skills, fully clothed in winter attire.
Since 2009, we've lost 488 children. And these are just the children that was reported through the abuse hotline. 488 children due to drowning that were reported through the abuse hotline since 2009. To put that in perspective, I could fill 25 classrooms worth of kids. 25 classrooms worth of kids. That's a medium-sized elementary school. Those are kids that are full of hope, they're full of potential, and they're not here anymore because they drowned.
In the African American community especially, they are 5 times more likely to drown than a Caucasian child. And a study's been done for those reasons. And the reasons are, it's generational. It's passed down from generation to generation. The mother of that child did not know how to swim, and that fear was passed down to her child.
Many organizations have what we call the Water Watcher tag. So that just helps parents divide up the responsibility and say, well, I'm wearing this tag, I'm going to be watching the kids while they're in the pool. I won't be texting, I won't be talking, I won't be drinking, and after the 10 minutes or so, and I need to go and use the bathroom, I'm going to give this to the next responsible adult, and they will take over that responsibility. And so by segmenting that supervision, we're ensuring that there are eyes on the kids in the pool all the time. So the swim season is upon us, and many of us will be hosting pool parties, and we'll be having a lot of families and friends coming over. So I just wanted to share a few tips for parents who are planning these pool parties. And so the first one, if you're having young kids come, I don't want to put an age on it, but if you're having kids, don't let parents drop their kids off. If you're having a pool party, parents need to stay with their own children and take responsibility for them. When they arrive, let's go over the pool rules. Let's tell them what our rules are and what we expect. Where's the deep end? Are we allowed to jump in? What toys are we allowed in the pool? And also find out who the strong swimmers are and who might need some special attention. so that we know who we need to look out for.
It really comes down to a simple thing, and it's education. And the more we can educate individuals, families, kids, the safer they can be, but more importantly, they can grow up to be healthy, strong, productive, but most importantly, self-sufficient and be contributors back, where they can then pass the message to others and ensure that healthy child development is a continual element of everything we do within our state.